Hi, welcome to Premier League Rundown, a show where we take a look at the opening betting values of some of the Premier League matches this week. Joining me now to preview the matches and to tell us where the best value lies is Mike Richardson. He's a sports writer and regular contributor to SBRForum. Welcome to the show, Mike.
Hello again, Natalie.
Okay, we've got 9 games to preview this week, so let's get started. Kicking off the weekend of fun-filled footy fun is Fulham versus Stoke. Close call here. Fulham are the slight favourites with odds of 2.15 to win, despite the Potters winning their last head-to-head in November. Both teams haven't played that well of late, both low scoring. What do you like here?
I like the home advantage of Fulham, Natalie. I do think Stoke are one of those tenacious little sides who don't like losing games and would quite happily draw them. Fulham, I think, would settle for a point up against a loss, obviously, but I think the fact that they needed win to start a kickstart, not so much kickstart, but restart their season and put a bit more daylight between them and the drop zone. They're only 6 points clear of Reading, who are 18th place and the first in the drop. So yeah, I think Fulham need to win the most, and they're going to get it.
All right, I'm with you on that one. Now, next match, Arsenal versus Aston Villa. No prizes for guessing who the favourites are here. Now, there's not a huge return for your money here, betting the favourites of odds of 1.3. So where's the value in this match?
Well, Natalie, I'm actually going to go against the odds on this one. I'm going to put some money on Aston Villa to win it. I think Arsenal are in a bit of a problem at the minute. They had that shock FA Cup defeat at the weekend against Blackburn. There's been calls for Arsene Wenger to go. There's a bit of dissent in the ranks. And I do think this could be the sort of game where you can big money by betting against the favourites. However, don't bet too hard. It is Aston Villa after all.
All right then. Norwich versus Everton. Close match here. Norwich needs to win this one to help keep their heads above the relegation line. Bet365 have the Toffees as the favourites at 2.05. Last time they met in November, though, they drew. Could we see another draw here, Mike? What do you like?
I think a draw is a pretty safe bet, Natalie. Norwich are in a similar sort of position as Fulham. They're only 2 places behind them, and that's on goal difference. So if you apply the rule of 6 points, they could well get dragged back into the relegation zone. I think Norwich will play very hard and run Everton a very hard game. However, I think 6th place Everton, knowing that they can make up some space on Arsenal because they're only 2 points behind them, they're not going to go over easy. I think a draw could well be the smart bet in this game.
All right, okay. Next game we're going to talk about, interesting to say the least. Top of the league, mighty Man U take on bottom of the league, QPR. There's a massive 48-point difference here. These guys are classes apart. Slightly surprising is, though, that the odds aren't further apart than that. Man U are the favourites at 6.5. Mike, what are your thoughts here?
I think this game is going to be an absolute whitewash. Manchester United are going to take QPR apart. Part of me wants to bet against the champions-elect. Part of me feels sorry for QPR. Part of me likes Harry Redknapp. But the huge part of me that's made up of common sense thinks this is going to be Man United, and Man United again. It's going to be nothing but a Red Devils victory. And there's going to be goals flying in from all quarters. I can't really put it any plainer than that. When 2 teams at opposite ends of the table meet, there's only ever going to be one winner. The sad thing is you're going to have to bet pretty hard to get any sort of decent return from this game.
Correct. And what sort of goals are we going to see here?
Oh, I'd say 4-0, 5-0.
Yeah.
Dare I say 6 or 7-0? Yeah, spread your money around and bet on some big scores.
Okay then, moving on. Reading versus Wigan. 2 teams fighting again for relegation. Could be blood, sweat and tears here. Very close odds from Bet365. Reading 2.4 to win. Wigan 2.87. Mike, what do you like here?
I like Reading. I think Reading showed against Man United that they're a side that doesn't know when they're beating. They were at Old Trafford and they were fighting when they were 2 goals down. They got nothing from that game. You know, they got the consolation goal, but that didn't really count. I think against Wigan, who are a side that look like they've outstayed their welcome in the Premier League, Reading want to stay up more. I think Reading have that little bit extra belief, and I think that's going to pay them dividends. In a relegation zone 6-pointer, yeah, I'm betting on Reading.
Yeah, okay. West Brom versus Sunderland playing at the Hawthorns. Final match on Saturday, 23rd. The home team are the favourites here, priced at odds of 2.0. What do you like here?
I'm going with the bookies on this one, Natalie. I think if you look at the table, you'll see that Sunderland are that third team on 29 points with Fulham and Norwich. They're probably just about safe of relegation. But looking further up, the Baggies, good old West Brom, they're on 37 points. So a win could take them above not one, but two teams directly above them. That's Swansea and Liverpool. And Swansea and Liverpool obviously played last weekend, and it was a victory for Swansea, which put them on 39 points. West Brom, therefore, have kind of a game in hand on the two teams above them, and they can leapfrog them both and hit 40 points. I think that's all the enthusiasm, that's all the encouragement, rather, that West Brom need, and I think Sunderland are going to be on the receiving end of quite a pasting from the Baggies. Bet on a home victory, bet on them winning both halves, and bet on a decent score.
Okay, now first match on Sunday 24th, Man City versus Chelsea, number 2 versus number 3 on the league table, 5-point difference here. Bookies siding with the home team with odds of 1.9. What do you like here? Do you agree with the bookies?
I think Man City at home is always the smart bet. I'd probably bet on them if they're playing at home against pretty much any other side in the division. Chelsea have had their own problems, but Man City look like they're going to be the second place team this season, and Chelsea look like they're going to be the third team place this season. I don't think much is going to change in this game. The best Chelsea can hope for is a draw. That might not be enough for Rafa Benitez, and it probably won't do Roberto Mancini any good at all. But yeah, I can see this game being drawn. I can't see Chelsea winning it. So if you have to bet on a winner, bet on Man City. If you want to bet sensible, bet on a draw, but a score draw at that.
Okay, final match on Sunday 24th. We have Newcastle versus Southampton playing at St James Park. The Geordies are the favourites here with odds of 2.0, despite the fact that Southampton won 2-0 in their last head-to-head in November, and Southampton are coming fresh from a Man City win 3-1. Are you surprised by these odds? Are you siding with the bookies?
No, I'm definitely siding with the bookies of this one. You can also mention that Southampton are actually above Newcastle in the table. And Southampton used to be a real bogey team for the Geordies. I remember when I was based down in Southampton, Newcastle would come down there and lose every single season. Quite often that would be the 3 points that would keep Southampton in the Premier League a long time ago. However, I think Newcastle, even with their midweek European action, will be more than a match for Southampton. And that's a special message dedicated to my mate Alex the Greek. Newcastle are going to beat Southampton on Sunday.
All right then. Now this brings us to our Monday's match, West Ham versus Tottenham. Tottenham have been on a winning streak here, winning their last 3 matches. West Ham have had a bit more of a mixed play, losing 2 of their last 3 matches. So no surprise here that the away team are the favourites with odds of 2.15. Mike, what are you going for in this one?
It's another close one. It's a London derby, but I think Tottenham are the quality side. West Ham have had a bit of a wobble of late. Paulo Di Canio has left the job at Swindon. There's a lot of talk about him taking over from Sam Allardyce. I do think that Tottenham will take advantage of West Ham, even though it's away. Yeah, we'll see an away win and a decent scoreline. Tottenham have definitely got goals in them, as they proved against Newcastle. So I'd say this game's going to end 3-1 with Tottenham winning both halves.
All right then. Mike, thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much, Natalie.
For SBRForum, I'm Natalie Rydström.